Good morning. Welcome to the replay, everybody. Welcome to the replay. If you're watching this on Apple, swipe to the right. Swipe to the right to share on Apple. Android from the bottom to the top. Android from the bottom to the top and share. All right, that's how you share. Share this stream, brothers and sisters. We're talking about money. Money. Right? Money. We're talking about cash flow today. If you don't have that book, get that book today. Go to DarrellMuhammad.net and hit more in book list. All right, and go to my Amazon store and buy that book today. Thank you for the invite. Welcome, Houston, Texas cash buyers. Welcome. Go ahead and put where you're from. Your name and where you're from. Brothers and sisters, this is a community. We want to network with each other. We want to get to know each other. Hey, good morning, Sister Candace. Good morning. Now's the time to share. We got about another minute left. All right, we need to double the count. Let's double that count. We need for everybody that's here to share. Never come to the party by yourself. Thank you, Bliss. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Jermaine, welcome. Go ahead and put where you're from. Go ahead and represent your city. Represent where you're from. We need to know from what part of the country you're tuning in from. Amsterdam. All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right. We need to know how far we're reaching. All right, Carlos, let us know where you're from. All right, we're going to get started in 30 seconds. I need for everybody to share. The stream. We're talking about cash flow today. Cash flow. All right, New York City. No flow like cash flow. Nashville, Tennessee. All right, let's represent. Who else is out there? Who else we got out there? Let's share. Let's go ahead and share. Let's double this count in the next 30 seconds. Can you do it? Need for everybody present to share. Gotta get Meerkat in the house. Can't leave the Meerkatters out. All right, welcome, Niambi. Let's share, everybody. Let's share. Thank you, Niambi, for the invite. Thank you very much. All right, 15 seconds and counting down. Let's go ahead and share. Let's double this count. Let's double up. You want to double your returns, you have to double your actions. If you want to double your returns, you have to double your actions. All right. Let's go ahead and turn that off. All right. Let's get started, brothers and sisters. You know, opportunity and money waits for no one. So it's not going to wait for you. It's not going to wait for I. This party started. Turn you around. All right. Let's get the camera right. Okay. I think we got that right. Okay. I think we got it straight. I think we straight. Let's get Meerkat on board. Get the Meerkatters. All right, Meerkat, you in the house. Let's give Meerkat some time to get on here. Make sure they got a good look. All right, good morning, everybody. Darrell Muhammad here, live from Houston, Texas, here at Panera Bread in beautiful Galleria. For those who don't know me, my name is Darrell Muhammad, real estate investor, mentor, coach, entrepreneur, businessman, sales and marketing expert, professional, online, offline marketing, network marketer, and used to be a former stockbroker for one of the major Wall Street firms. We used to be one of the top 4. They've since been bought out, and things are constantly changing in the world of business. So I come with those expertise, brothers and sisters. I put in more than 10,000 hours. Hey, Eugene. I put in more than 10,000 hours in each one of those areas. So according to Max, what's his name? Gladwell, you're considered, according to him, in his research, you're considered an expert. All right, you're an expert. So Brothers and sisters, we just want to, on these live streams, Monday through Friday, hey, Gold Digger, Monday through Friday from 11 till 11:20, 11:30, depending on the flow. We just want to bring you some nuggets, some things that I've learned over the last 30 years of entrepreneurship, sales, and marketing to help you out, to help shorten your learning curve, all right? Thank you, Gold Digger, for your inviting, all right? To help you shorten your learning curve, right? We as black people, hashtag black dollars, hashtag black economy, hashtag black wealth. That's what we're about here, brothers and sisters. No holds bars, you know. That's just what it is. That's what time it is. If Beyonce can be bold enough to go out there and put the message out there that she did, because I wouldn't bet. I'm not a betting man, but I wouldn't have bet that she would sing that song at Super Bowl. All right, so it's time to be bold. It's time to be courageous, because in truth, that's the only way you and I are going to win at the money game, by being bold and courageous. There is no money in following the masses of the people, following the crowd. There is no money. The only thing that you and I can get when we follow the crowd, the masses of the people, the 85% of the population, the best that we can get are crumbs. Crumbs, right? And crumbs are what they call creature comforts. Creature comforts, all right? So, brothers and sisters, if you like this message, if you've been on before, a couple of things I want you to do. This is how you pay it forward. This is how we exchange and develop a relationship. We do that by sharing. Walaikum salam. Thank you for sharing, Sister Denise. All right? This is how we do it, brothers and sisters. We need for you to share. First of all, share. Second of all, I need for you to follow. All right, so swipe if you're on Android, hit follow, bottom. Swipe to the right if you're on Apple, bottom if you're on Android, and hit follow. Follow. You want to follow these streams, because we're going to continue to bring you, the best of the best when it comes to black economic empowerment, black wealth, black economy, black dollars. All right. All right, this is not just another talking head platform. That is not my intention. Hey, Sister Martina, welcome. Put where you're from. Introduce yourself. This is a social media platform. You have to be sociable. Why black money? Why black money? Money is money. Okay, well, here's the thing. If you have to ask that question, you stay tuned. If you have to ask that, hey, New Orleans, if you have to ask that question, then you need to do some research. But we're not going to spend time talking about that now, all right? We're talking about today cash flow. So I was saying, if you like this message, if you want to continue this conversation more in private, more with the community that we're building, then go to DarrellMuhammad.net, DarrellMuhammad.net. Hit on one of the posts that we have there on our blog. You'll see at the bottom, subscribe, all right? You want to subscribe. That's invitation only. You want to subscribe. That's a private list. We're going to have live events once or twice a month. We're going to have another one at the end of this month. There's going to be another meet and greet, because we have to understand what it takes to win at the money game, and it takes social interaction with people, right? Everything boils down to people. The common denominator is people. People. So we have to be very sociable, and we have to understand psychology of socializing. All right. So that's what we have to do. All right. So that's what we have to do, brothers and sisters. That's what we have to do. So we're going to talk about today. DarrellMuhammad.net. DarrellMuhammad.net. You want to subscribe. Secondly, you want to follow. If you like this message, swipe or glide to the top and go ahead and subscribe, or go ahead and follow. We're going to get our count up to 500 people. 500 people. We're approaching about 160 of these live streams. Walaikum salam. About 160 of these live streams. All right. So there's a lot out there. We're trying to upload those as fast as we can. But you want to go to DarrellMuhammad.net. DarrellMuhammad.net. All right. Go there. Make yourself comfortable. And thank you for the invite, sister. And go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and buy some books, because you have to invest in yourself. Okay, so today we're talking about cash flow. Cash flow. You saw this book, some of you at the beginning. You need to get this cash flow. This is an entire book on cash flow. Cash flow. All right. So you want to go to DarrellMuhammad.net, hit more book list, And any one of those books that take it to the Amazon store, brothers and sisters, go and patronize. Go and show your gratitude. All right? In an economic environment, you show your gratitude in an economic environment to a business person by some type of monetary expression, right? By patronizing them, by making a donation to a non-profit organization that's dear to their heart. In a business environment, you express yourself economically, all right? That's how you do it. See, so these are the things we need to understand, basic things we need to understand about winning at the money game. It's not just getting the money. That's why today we're going to talk about cash flow and really just kind of prick your conscience, right? These streams are here just to take the lid off, right? It's your job to go as high as you want to go. The job here is just to take the lid off of our consciousness and give us a better understanding, a clearer understanding of the money game and the rules to win at the money game. All right? So that's what we're talking about here. So Cashflow, Robert Kiyosaki said in that book that he learned from his rich dad, the most important word to a business owner, to an entrepreneur, is cash flow. Cash flow. All right? Cash flow. Okay? It's not how much money you make, brothers and sisters. See, you always have two sides. Those that know the rules and win, those who don't know the rules and lose. Those who know the rules and win have a certain language, and those who don't know the rules and lose have an opposite language, right? Have an opposite language. So those of us, the 85% who don't know the rules, because no one taught us the rules, and we haven't gone out and made the sacrifice to learn the rules, then, we get caught up in how much money did Jay-Z make? How much money does Beyonce make? How much money does Cam Newton make? How much money does he make? How much money does she make? All right? That's the mindset of those that play the money game, not knowing the rules to win. All right? And we said it over and over again. If you don't know the rules to win, you automatically will lose. All right? So it's not how much money you make, brothers and sisters. That's not it. What's the key is that you and I have to understand that our forefathers understood prior to integration, walaikum salam, prior to integration, prior to education, right? Is they understood it's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. How much money you keep. All right? So that's what you have to understand. See, it's not how much money you make. So when you hear somebody put those things out there, right? When somebody says, oh, such and such makes a certain amount of money, right? Such and such makes a certain amount of money. Okay, that's just the beginning. There's more to that story, right? There's more to that story than just how much somebody makes, right? Statistics here in America is that 76% of people live from paycheck to paycheck. 76. So if you see 10 people, 7.6, almost 8% of those people, 80% of those people live from paycheck to paycheck. They didn't say they were poor. They didn't say they was homeless. They didn't say they didn't have an education. They didn't say they they don't have a white collar job. It said 76% of most Americans live from paycheck to paycheck and have less than $10,000 of savings in the bank. Right? Now we know that to be true. Many of us, unfortunately, if we just look in the mirror. Then if we look around us, that's the case. Right? And that's so unfortunate in a land of plenty, right? That's so unfortunate in America where we have decadence. It's so extreme it becomes decadence, right? So that's very unfortunate. It's because we don't know the money game, the rules to the money game to win, brothers and sisters. We know it to lose, and you cannot win at the money game being 99.9% consumer. Can't do that. All right? So doesn't matter how much money you make. That's the front drop. There's a backdrop to that. There's a story to that. Those that understand the money game and get in serious conversation with people, not just passing by conversation, not just small talk conversation, but when they really talk serious, those who know the money game to win, then they want to know. Okay, they made that much, but how are they living? They made that much, But what are their investments? They made that much. What are they doing with their money? What are they doing with their money? Okay? So we have to understand when it comes to cash flow, that is not about how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. Brothers and sisters, we're talking about money here on these live streams, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. for about 15, 20 minutes. We want to hit it and quit it so you can go out and you can do your research. You can go out and implement that what you hear on these live streams. You can go out and make things happen. All right? We're here to empower you, not just for you, not just for your family, right? But for our community, our black community. Our black community needs help. It's hemorrhaging economically, right? Because everybody, and I say everybody, we're talking about, a large percentage of, too many of us just talk about get money, get money, get money, get money. And then once we get it, there's no direction on what we do once we get it. We want to be clear on these streams. I want to be clear on these streams what we have to do if we love ourselves, love our family, all right, and love our black community. Love is cheap unless you put money behind it, all right? When you got it. If you don't have it, then you don't need to put money behind it, right? And you can put other things behind to, what time is it? You have to, you can put other things behind it, but we're talking about economics, right? When you talk about cooking, you use language that relates to cooking, not language that relates to mechanic work. So we're talking about money here, brothers and sisters, all right? So make sure we understand that's what we're talking about. So that's the language we're using. Not exclusively, but that's the language that we're using, all right? So cash flow. Cash flow. Now here's what you and I need to understand. The number one rule to winning at the money game is to keep as much money as you can. Keep as much money as you can. And the number one strategy, and the number one way to do that, the number one strategy, Robert Kiyosaki says it in his books, right, is to pay the least amount of taxes legally. That's state tax and federal income tax. Income tax. Tax season right now, income tax. Be careful, brothers. So let me just sidebar real quick. Be careful. There's a IRS scam out there. They called me on my cell phone telling me that the IRS was going to sue me and to call this number. And it was a number out of D.C. I called it and said, yes, use the whole scare tactic of, your driver's license being revoked and all this other kind of stuff. The guy said, what's your name? I gave him my name, and then he told me, oh, yeah, you owe $8,600 from 2009 to the present on taxes that you owe. You want to pay that today? He didn't ask for my Social Security, nothing, a number or anything, all right? So be careful. But taxes, all right? Those that play the money game to win know that they have to reduce their tax liabilities legally, right? Legally, brothers and sisters, you have to do it legally, and the way you do it is not with your W-2 income. You do it through a business entity. A business entity. If you have some questions, we'll open up for questions about 5 minutes.
Please be advised, now 11:17. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So anyway, so you have to understand the game when it comes to taxes. That's a whole nother subject altogether. We'll cover that more in detail if you go to DarrellMuhammad.net and subscribe, okay? Go to DarrellMuhammad.net. Somebody put that so they can get the right spelling. Sister Niambi or Sister Candace, please. And we're going to go more into that, all right? More into that because the tax laws and stuff can be a minefield if you don't watch it. So they know that the number one way to keep more of your money is through tax strategies, right? They know to pay the least amount of taxes legally. That doesn't mean you don't claim all your income, brothers and sisters. That means you claim all your income, but you also claim legitimate expenses and deductions, all right? So they understand that. We're talking about cash flow. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. It's not what you make, is what you keep. It's not what you make, is what you keep. We have more than our foreparents did, and we have less. We make more and have less. Right? Thank you very much, Sister Candace. We make more and we have less. right? Because we're being seduced out of our money, right? It's like a sexy lady, sexy car, sexy anything. We're being seduced out of our cash flow. We're doing this to do that. So here's what you have to do. You have to look for ways. You have to look for ways to keep more of your money, right? Employee mindset says what? Coupons. Go to Walmart, right? That's what the employee mind says. The W-2 employee mind says that, right? Buy a cheaper car and, nickel and pinch your way, right? To saving more, right? Now, what an entrepreneur says, a business-minded person says, a CEO says, a person that understands the money game, they focus more of their attention. Not that they don't overspend any attention there. They spend most of their attention on increase. They spend most of their attention on making more so they'll have more to save. If you only make $500 a week, you can't save $600. But you may need to save $600. That means you need to make $600 more than what you make right now. Okay? We're talking about cash flow, brothers and sisters. All right? We're talking about cash flow. Cash flow is not what you make. Cash flow is what you keep. All right? Cash flow is what you keep. Cash flow is what you have, all right, after everything is spent. Right? I shouldn't say spent, but after your necessities are covered. What you have, necessities are covered. What you have is called cash flow. Let me put it to you like this. Let me give you some terminology. We're going to start dealing with terminology. There's certain language in the money game. And based on the language that you speak, those that win the money game, or winners of the money game, know based on the language that you and I use what kind of player we are. They understand, they know based on our language if we're a major player or we're still playing in the minor leagues. In the minor leagues, right? So here's what you have. W-2 employees, 85% of the people speak income. Income. Focus on income. They don't even know to ask about tax bracket. They don't even ask about tax shelter. What are you doing to shelter all that money, man? Because if you're making $100,000 a year, you're paying at least 30% to the IRS, man. What are you doing to keep most of that money? See, that's a language, that's a conversation that the winners have. The winners to the money game have. Losers are those that don't know the rules. They focus just on, man, $100,000. Ooh, that's a lot of money, man. What kind of job you got? You went to college to get that? See, you went to college? $100,000, man, that's a lot, man. Man, you must be balling. Man, what you riding in? What kind of whip you got? Right? $100,000, man, that's good. Man, you doing good. And you came from what? Louisiana? Little country town, Louisiana. Oh, man, you doing good. See the difference in conversation? All right? So W-2, 85% of the people say income. Business people say revenue. Same language, but one is for W-2 employees and 85%. The other is for business people. The other is for those that play the money game, know the rules to play the money game to win. All right? The other thing is W-2 employees and 85% of the people speak about savings, right? But the other group, those that play the money game to win and know the rules on how to play to win, they don't say savings, they say cash flow. Cash flow. Cash flow. That's why Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, said the most beautiful sounding words to an entrepreneur is cash flow. Cash flow. Right? Cash flow. Now here's the difference. You got income or revenue. You have your operating expenses. Operating expenses. Those expenses.
Security, please be advised. The site is being monitored by live video surveillance. The time is now 12:23 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, so you have to understand that they're called operating expenses. Those are expenses that are necessary to operate your business. Not fluff. Not your red box expenses and not your Bluebell ice cream expenses. Operating expenses. That's what it takes to operate your household. Right? Light, water, gas. Right? Food. shelter, operating expenses, necessities, operating expenses, right? Then after that, you have your debt service, right? That's your car loan, credit card, and your house note if you have a house note. Debt service. Now, once you subtract your operating expenses, you subtract your debt service, right? I told you the other day, you pay your debt service, it comes off the top, all right? Then you draw the line, which you have left, all right? Employees call it savings. Entrepreneurs, those that know the money game to win, call it what? Cash flow. Cash flow. Now you have cash flow. Now you can control where that cash flows to. It flows to a savings account for an investment. It flows to. So that's cash flow, brothers and sisters. Focus on cash flow. How much do you have after your income or revenue, subtracted by your operating expenses? So you need to narrow down all your expenses to what you need minimally to operate, to function your household, right? And then swipe away the rest of that, and then your debt service, what you owe people based on borrowed money, that's debt, right? What you have left is cash flow. See, now you start looking at that cash flow and say, okay, now I got these other expenses here that are not operational expenses. It won't kill me if I don't have them. It'll kill you if you don't have food. It'll kill you if you don't have shelter. It'll kill you if you don't have utilities, right? It won't kill me if I don't have my cell phone. Oh, yeah? You don't know it won't kill you. There's people that don't have cell phones. All right? It won't kill you if you don't go to Panera Bread. It won't kill you if you don't go to Starbucks anymore. It won't kill you if you don't do those things. It won't kill you if you don't go to the movies. It won't kill you if you don't go out to dinner. It won't kill you to do those things. So that's not part of your operating expenses. Right? That's what comes out of your cash flow. But we put that in our operating expenses. We just put that in expenses, period. And that's why we don't have cash flow. So what that will allow you to do, brothers and sisters, is allow us to reframe our thinking, allow us to start thinking the way that we have to think in order to win at the money game and act accordingly. It's not just thinking it, it's acting it. Right? The shortcut, you like the rocket. We're going to get rid of you with these questions about the rockets. You're on the wrong live stream, brother. All right? We welcome you for being here, but you're on the wrong live stream. This is about money. It's not about the rockets. All right? Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about cash flow. Cash flow, all right? Cash flow, brothers and sisters. Focus on cash flow. It's not how much money you make. That's the language of the neophytes. That's the language of those that don't understand. That's the language of those that's playing in the minor league. That's the language of those that are playing in Pop Warner baseball, right? Pickup ball. Those are the ones that are playing on a very small level, right? That focus on that, that's the only thing they can talk about is how much somebody makes, right? How to double your cash flow. Double your cash flow in many ways, brother. You can double your cash flow by increasing your revenue, minimizing expenses. 2 ways of increasing your bottom line. Thank you for that relevant question. 2 ways to increase your bottom lines. Increase revenue, decrease expenses. Increase revenue, decrease expenses. If you can do both, do both. If I only can do one, the one I would do is increase my income. Increase my income. If I can do just one, I would increase my income. But you want to do both because you win twice. When you can reduce your expenses and increase your income. All right? So that takes us at the bottom of an hour. We like to stay within half an hour. If you have some questions, let's go ahead and do that. Brothers and sisters, 2 things I need for you to do. All right? If you like this message, this is how you pay for this valuable message. Because this is unapologetically #black, #black economy, #black economics. That's what this is. So if that's what you're about, you're in the right place. If that's not what you're about, you're in the wrong place. And there's no need for you to ask questions that has nothing to do with those hashtags. All right? Ain't nothing personal. See, we got to get our feelings out the way. We're talking about business. We're talking about money. There is no feelings in business. There is no feelings when it comes to money. Money doesn't cry. Money ain't sad. Okay? So this is what we have to understand. Thank you, Living Sheik, for being there on Meerkat and Chorizo, thank you so very much for restreaming. All right? So that's what we're about here, unapologetically. The finances of home count as increased income refinance? It can, but it's not based on anything you've done in the marketplace. But yes, it does, and that's a one-time shot in the arm, right? So we don't want one-time, not that we don't want one-time shots in the arms. Those are good too, right? But we want consistent. We want consistent. We want to raise our income up and keep it there. We don't want to spike up because we refinanced the home, right? And then it comes back down after we get the money or after that 1 year for tax reasons for that 1 year. What is a good book to purchase on setting up your business entity to protect your assets and taxes? I don't know. I don't have one. I've learned them through my real estate training over the last 30 years. But go to DarrellMuhammad.net, hit more, hit book list, hit any one of those books, go to the Amazon store and just put it in the search engine and see what comes up. All right, what comes up. But there's a lot of them. But I tell you this, brothers and sisters, see, this is what we have to do. Develop the characteristics, develop the habits of winning the money game. Then worry about entities. Then worry about structure. Then worry about those other things. See, we spend all this time intellectualizing and don't spend enough time activating. We don't spend enough time because, see, I'm telling you from 30 years of experience, brothers and sisters, it's not as easy as you think it is. You're not just going to wake up or go to bed and say, you know what, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm just going to hit it hard. I'm here